World-class athletes spend a lot of time training and competing and getting to know each other. Well, at least you would think so.
I'm most impressed by him because he's been so pertinacious and been able to overcome obstacles and adversity.
That made me want to put my uniform back on. I'm serious. I want to get my orange and blue on and take a lap.
Everybody looked wonderful. It's been an amazing year for USA Track and Field. I mean, to see all of these great Olympians come down the red carpet, I really enjoyed that.
It is crunch time. It is time to kind of show what you got. This 800 runner has a dad who was a subject of the movie Lean on Me.
That would be you. No, hold on.
Her story is really, really exciting because she came back from a knee injury, and a lot of people counted her out. Knoxville has been named the worst city in America for the 4th consecutive year. He was 4 under through 9 holes. The medal presentations, the competition, and the rivalries.
Do you think any other coach will ever come close to being able to emulate that kind of success?
After 7 new coaches and multiple position changes, it looks like change is evident on the field as well as the surroundings.
Hold on, that'll be your sister. Who, what?
For all-American food, dancing, music, and of course, one of the biggest and brightest booms in the nation.
Yes, we have Aries Merritt in the building, and he is the world indoor champion. Think about it now.
Joe Clark? The Clark sisters?
Who do you pick? Yeah.
I'm picking all the Clark sisters.
All right, you got it right.
It's a very big deal. I believe that the people that do the legs, whether it's in the preliminary rounds or the finals, are just key. Everyone is key at the Olympic Games. They allow the athletes who do the final to rest. You know, a lot of athletes are doing a lot of events and would be very tired, and he should be very proud of himself. He gets to take home an Olympic gold medal. Even though he wasn't in the final, he should definitely share that glory because he was a big part.
Were you surprised that Michael Phelps jumps in there? Obviously, he was going for the record, now becomes the all-time record holder with medals won in an Olympic Games with 19. Surprised that he jumps in and actually swims the finals and helps the U.S. win gold?
Well, he's a champion. Even though obviously he's had some adversity, I had a feeling that he was going to come through. And it's funny, we call him having a disappointing Olympic Games. He is the best Olympian that's ever lived. That's amazing. And it's funny that we call him a disappointment, but I think he should be very proud, and he's definitely a champion.
Are you surprised that a star really hasn't emerged from this Games, or am I downplaying that whole thing a little bit too much?
Well, it's early on, and I think that a star will definitely emerge. There are some disappointments, but there are always, with the U.S. team, there's always someone who comes through. It might be a name that we don't expect, but at the end, I have a feeling we're going to have some new household names. They are calling this the social media Olympics, and I can understand why. Just a few years ago, at my last Olympic Games, we weren't tweeting at all. But now some of the athletes are getting themselves in some hot water with their tweets. To give you a few examples, there's a track and field athlete from Greece who was just expelled from the team for making racist comments about Africans. There was also another athlete, a Swiss soccer player, who after losing to the South Korean team made some pretty disparaging comments and was also expelled. And we have Hope Solo. A lot of people are familiar with her from the Dancing with the Stars, and she just got in some hot water or had some criticism for saying some rough comments about Brandi Chastain, who was doing the commentary for the U.S. Olympic team.
Another U.S. player, so it's kind of your friends and former competitors over there.
Oh, definitely. You know, I feel like I'm still their teammates. We've been through going on the Olympic team for so many years. I made 3 teams, so we grew up together. And I was talking to her about something that the athletes are very passionate about. It's called the We Demand Change movement, and maybe we'll get to talk about it in more detail, but they're basically talking about athletes not getting any money. A lot of people don't know Olympians don't get paid, and many of them are struggling, and there's a lot of money being exchanged at the Olympics, so it's kind of kind of difficult to imagine, but that's the case.
Kind of a statement race for him, I guess, today against Lochte?
Yes, and the statement was, I'm not ready to move over yet, Lochte. Okay, so wait. But I mean, it was a great performance for Phelps. I'm most impressed by him because he's been so pertinacious and been able to overcome obstacles and adversity, and so many people doubting his ability and whether or not he was still going to be able to do it. And he came away with the gold, and he's also the most decorated Olympian ever. That's something that's great.
Well, and there's clearly no question, this game is still mine.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. I mean, I think the game is still his. He's done such great things. I mean, and like I said, when you're the most decorated Olympian ever, that speaks for itself. So, yes, he's walked away, and he should feel good about himself. And Lochte should not hang his head low because he has 2 golds, 2 silvers, and a bronze. That's great.
I'm your host, Mike Neighbors. Joining me, how about 3-time Olympian, 7-time U.S. national champion in the 800 meters. She's Hazel Clark, and you know all too well through experience, this time of the year in the outdoor season, it's time to put up your best numbers.
It is crunch time. It is time to kind of show what you got. You've been working early in the season, doing some endurance work, maybe some technical work, and kind of working out the kinks, and now is the time to really go.
Now, Andrew won. We have another one to talk about.
Tina Sute. She is absolutely amazing. She won the NCAA title at the indoor championship, and she was very, very convincing. She had no misses, and she went after the collegiate record. So she's really, really looking great going into the outdoor season.
We also should see a handful of competitors in the Olympics as well out here in Fayetteville today.
Yes, we have Aries Merritt in the building, and he is the world indoor champion. He did a really, really great job. He had a major breakthrough. It's really exciting, and he's taking that momentum into the outdoor season. You have 40 national championships, 5 NCAA Triple Crowns, and 46 SEC championships. Do you think any other coach will ever come close to being able to emulate that kind of success?
Well, I don't think
World champion.
You called it, didn't you?
Yeah, that looked amazing. He looked great over the hurdles, very, very strong. And he's continuing what he started indoors. I think he's going to have a great outdoor season. I'm calling this right now. Momo gets the win.
You're calling it, huh?
For having the best name. For having the best name. He's already won that. And we'll see how he fares in the race. Look at Momo. Oh, I feel his pain, but he's still lifting through it. At this point, your legs feel like you're attached to the track, and you just have to hold on and maintain your form. And he's able to sneak in for the win. It's close. You've done such a great job with the Lady Razorbacks through the years. What athletes and what moments stand out the most in your mind?
Well, most people don't
Plan.
Oh, no, you definitely can't always stick by the plan, because sometimes people will maybe cut you off or go out harder than you expected. I remember my coach, JJ, told me in 2008 to lead the race, and somebody else had the same exact plan, and we ended up coming through at a brutal pace, both trying to lead the race. And it almost cost me the race, but I held on and was able to win.
That's, I mean, psychologically and physically, that takes a toll, doesn't it?
It really, really does. So you always have to be able to be adaptable.
Athletes want to get a lot out of their performances this time of year, and we saw many who did.
Yes, this meet definitely accomplished that. It's the perfect type of meet for this time in the season. You saw a lot of athletes doing off events or doing a lot of events, and that's great for fitness. That's great for just practicing the things you're going to need for the championships.
The Olympics capture the imagination of the world. The opening ceremonies, the closing ceremonies, the medal presentations, the competition, and the rivalries work together to give everyone a serious case of Olympic fever. But what fans don't get to see is the hard work, sacrifice, and dedication it takes for elite athletes to make it to the world's biggest stage as Olympians. Today we have Gerald Mars Clark, 5-time Olympian, American record holder, and Olympic gold medalist. Hi, this is Hazel Clark coming from the Tom Black track at University of Tennessee, and I'm with Gerald Mars Clark, 5-time Olympian and 3-time Olympic medalist. She brought her hardware here for us to check out, and I have to tell you, it's amazing up close, and I can only imagine the type of hard work it took for you to get these. So, Joe, you've made 5 Olympic teams. Tell me a little bit about the hard work it took to be able to do that.
A little bit about.
This is Hazel Clark coming to you from Knoxville Riverfront, and I'm here with Knoxville resident Winston Riley. Winston, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Now, you've already gone to one Boomsday, and tonight you're going to your second. Tell me about your first experience. Was it everything you expected?
It was actually more.
Okay, great. All right, now let me ask you this. What is it like having an event like Boomsday right in your own backyard?
Well, it's an amazing event to have out here while we're here.
Romance, that sounds good to me, really good to me. Okay, well, thank you, Winston. Boomsday is tonight at 8 o'clock p.m. Bring your family and friends out and enjoy the festivities.
3-time Olympian and the holder of multiple national titles, Hazel Clark Riley. Thanks so much for being with us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
It's such an honor, and you are just such a joy to be around and talk to.
I know. Now, Hazel, your event is the 800, and you've been to 3 Olympics.
Yes.
Remind our viewers, you know, some of the highlights of your career.
Well, I would say the biggest highlight of my career was my first Olympic team in 2000 in Sydney with my family. My brother, JJ, who's the director of track and field at University of Tennessee, coached me along with my sister-in-law and sister to a sweep of the 800 at the Olympic trials. So that was really amazing.
And you said it was really, and then you went on to go to Athens and Beijing as well.
Yes, and that's really difficult to do. A lot of people don't really understand the process. They'll ask you a year out before the trials, oh, are you going to be on the Olympic team? You literally don't know until a few weeks before the games. I mean, they want you to be fit, and you have to perform on that day. So it's really stressful. I mean, it takes a lot of hard work, and for me to be able to go 3 times in a row, I mean, it just took a lot of focus and a lot of discipline, a lot of sacrifice.
Well, it's certainly exciting.
Well, I just left the Olympic trials, and I'm going to tell you that the Olympic trials are much more stressful than the games. In the U.S., we have the most competitive team to make, and you have to be on that day. And just, you see on TV the people celebrating, well,
behind the scenes, there are a lot of athletes crying, bent over with red eyes, who have sacrificed everything to try to make the team and fall short. And that's difficult to watch, and I understand that pressure. As I said, I'm the defending Olympic trials champion from 2008, and I remember, feeling like I could pass out on the line. So it's really, really tough. But once you get to the games, you're more relaxed. You're representing the USA, and you kind of can have the feeling of just letting that talent shine. So
you're already a winner.
You're an Olympian.
Exactly. That's an elite group.
Yeah, you're right.
Talented.
Okay, great. Well, first of all, I'll talk about basketball. You have Tamika Catchings along with Candace Parker. And what I thought was really cool was that Candace Parker just said that she's most excited to compete with her UT Lady Vol teammate. They have to compete against each other in the WNBA, and they're able to compete with each other at the games, and they're like sisters. So I thought that was really exciting. And then in track and field, you have Dee Dee Trotter, my best friend, who made it in the 400. Her story is really, really exciting because she came back from a knee injury, and a lot of people counted her out. Even the commentators said she probably wouldn't make the team, and she went and got the second qualifying spot a few days ago. So I was really excited for her. Justin Gatlin, another UT star, he had a steroid situation where he was banned for 4 years when he tested positive, and it could have been career-ending, honestly, but he came back, he held his head high, people are embracing him again. He kind of went from the golden boy to the outcast, and now he's back to the golden boy again with a #1 finish at the trials.
Amazing.
What about this one race in the Olympic trials where the two runners, forgive me, their names are not...
Allison Felix and Jennifer Tarma.
Thank you.
Yes, we knew you would know.
Here's the picture. It looks like #1 is winning, but it's really the torso that has to be over the finish line.
Yes.
I thought it was whatever went first, but I've
That's what you would
learned a
think.
lot.
That would make sense to me. I'd throw myself across the line.
The foot,
It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
So tell us about this. Do you know anything about this?
Yes, I do. Everyone was buzzing about it at the trials. It's the first time ever in the history of track and field that they've had a dead tie. They could not separate the two athletes. And in the end, they deliberated for a long time, and they came up with either a runoff, meaning they would have to rerun the race, or a coin toss. And that just sounds crazy, but that's literally all they could come up with. I think I go for the run. I just can't see my Olympic dreams dependent on a coin.
You're right.
I'm just going to have to run.
You're totally right. Yeah. That would be awful.
So Hazel, in your life now, you are doing some sports commentating.
I am.
Tell us about that. I can see why. You're so well spoken.
Oh, thank you so much. I've always dreamed of being on TV. My mom, even before track and field, I used to tell my mom I wanted to be like a baby Oprah. I wanted to be on TV. So this has been a dream come true for me. I got injured this year, and I was really, really bummed. But being able to get these jobs on TV and do these different events, it's been a lot of fun for me. So I'm continuing to do that and just enjoying this year, and I guess rooting my teammates on at this point. Eric Berry's second season in the NFL lasted less than 1 game. The former Vol suffered a season-ending knee injury in the Chiefs opener against Buffalo. Berry is healthy again and hosting his second summer youth football camp at Grace Christian Academy. It's sponsored by the Eric Berry Foundation and D1 Sports. While Berry played camp instructor this week, he's ready for his third NFL season. While year 2 was almost non-existent, Eric hopes to regain his rookie season form from 2010 when he was named a Pro Bowl player.
As long as my family's happy, and I'm not from anybody else.
In addition to camp with the kids, Berry spent time this week with UT's receivers. Eric said Justin Hunter is ready for the NFL right now. When it comes to pants, the jury is still out for Tennessee football. Derek Dooley's Orange Slacks suffered a 7-loss season last year, but the year before, when the Orange Slacks were still a piece of fabric in a suit maker's closet, the Vols also lost 7 games. It's not certain if the Slacks are coming back for this season. Their trousers were one of the more trivial topics at SEC Media Days this week.
He started a trend.
Dooley correctly would add, slacks have nothing to do with the team's success or failure. It's not certain if the orange pants are coming back. We'll know for sure on August 31st. Up next, a Tennessean leads the British Open. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Scott Stallings had quite a round going at the PGA Tour's True South Classic today. He was 4 under through 9 holes when play was suspended for darkness. Stallings is at 8 under halfway through the second round. Billy Horschel leads at 13 under par.
The shot.
On to England, the British Open, and this is the shot of the day. Tiger Woods from the bunker on 18, and he makes it. Put him down for a birdie. Tiger is 6 under, 4 strokes back. A kid from Tennessee leads the Open Championship. Brant Snedeker shoots a 6 under 64. He has tied the record for the lowest 36-hole score. Snedeker is 10 under after 2 rounds. He has a 1-stroke lead over Adam Scott. The Smokies suffered a 4-1 loss at Chattanooga tonight. Lookouts pitchers struck out 16 Smokies batters. The game was called after 8 innings for rain.
I think you guys are one of the
NBA players remember victims of the Colorado Theater shooting today. The tragedy took place outside Denver. Denver Nuggets players wore black headbands as a way to memorialize the victims. The Nuggets played Portland in a summer league game today in Florida. There will be more 6 News after this break.